All right, if I have everybody's attention, we're going to go ahead and get started with the awards portion of our program tonight. Again, I know we got some guys that are still eating, that's fine. Some guys still taking care of some things, that's fine too. But we want to go ahead and get rolling so we can honor these guys. As I said earlier, a very historic year for West Lawrence football. I can't tell you how proud I am of these guys, of these coaches, of our parents and our community and how they supported us all year. Before we get going, there's a couple special thanks I need to get out. First of all, thanks to our administration here at West Lawrence High School. They do an outstanding job of supporting all athletics, and they're huge supporters of our football program. Thanks to Mr. Clifford Garnto, our principal, who also grilled these pork chops tonight for us, so we appreciate him doing that. Our assistant principals, Ms. Megan Respert, Mr. Tim Allen, Mr. Ernest Holmes, we thank them for all they do for West Lawrence High School, for athletics, and for our students in general. Our Jeff Clayton, our county athletic director, you don't realize how much he does. He paints a lot of our fields. Takes care of the fields for us. He put together that highlight tape, does a lot of things for these young men and the young women in our community, so we appreciate him and all he does. Our local athletic coordinator, Mike Thompson, our athletic booster club, they do a lot for us as well. We can't tell you how much we appreciate them. Our Board of Education, our maintenance department, transportation, Mr. Greg Paldo, all those guys that deal with the buses and have to have me calling over all the time, making sure we got buses and double checking everything. I know they get tired of hearing from me, but we appreciate them and all they do as well. Our office staff, Miss Amanda Waldrop, Marcy Smith, Marcy Baggett, Emily Strickland, Kay Knight, all they do for our young men and women. We appreciate them as well. Our lunchroom staff preparing this meal for us tonight, Miss Karen Swinson, we appreciate all they do. Officer Shane Allen, our resource officer, also helped us this year on the sidelines and at practice. Dr. Heath Richter, y'all don't realize how many of our athletes that he'll see without charging, without worrying about insurance. He does a lot for our guys, and we're very, very thankful for him. Bass Rehab also does a lot for us. Pat Ford, our chain crew that comes out there on Friday nights and holds the chains for us. We appreciate them. Holly Beal and our cheerleaders, wouldn't be the same atmosphere without them. The Raider Brigade and Mr. Richard Horn, our director, they bring the atmosphere out there on Friday nights to help our guys, and we really appreciate that. TV 35 for all they do putting our kids on the air, getting notoriety for these guys and supporting all the young men and women in our community. We appreciate them. The Dublin Courier Herald as well, Mr. Rodney Manley, Liberty Baptist Church and our 12th Man Ministries, Pastor Brad Ball and Bethsaida Baptist, and Stephen Frazier. They do a lot bringing out popsicles for our guys when it's hot, taking care of our guys in a lot of ways, and we appreciate that as well. Noelle Ramsey and our football moms do a lot behind the scenes. Can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys, all y'all do there. Lisa and Scott Snell, who did a lot with social media. If you looked at our Facebook page and a lot of the pictures and things that go up, they handle a lot of that, and we really, really appreciate that. So I'd like to give a round of applause for all those people and the others that help our program. Thank you very, very much. Again, we couldn't do a lot that we do without you. Also, real quickly, I'd like to introduce my coaches, in case some of you out there don't know them. We wouldn't have even remotely the success that we've had this year if it wasn't for these men behind me who give their lives and do so much for these young men. And I know their wives and their families who have to do away with them during football season. A lot of them are football widows during football season, but we really appreciate these coaches. I want to recognize them real quick. Jason Respert, who's our offensive coordinator. Thank you, Coach Respert. Whitney Alligood, who's our special teams coordinators and coaches our linebackers. Coach Alligood. Rod Waits, who coaches our outside linebackers. Thank you, Coach Waits. Stephen Edwards, our wide receivers coach. Coach Floyd couldn't be with us tonight. Eddie Floyd also coaches our outside linebackers. He's sick, and he's got some sick youngins as well, so remember him in your prayers. Von Murkison, running backs coach. Tyler Rogers, offensive line. Dwayne Gibson, defensive line. Alex Knight couldn't be with us as well tonight. He is also sick, but he does all our technology, and he does a great job for us. We appreciate him. Mitch Lawhorn, who's our assistant O-line coach and our head 9th grade coach. And Shane Allen and Cedric Jordan also, who helped us with our 9th grade program this year. We appreciate those guys as well. Again, without these guys, we wouldn't have the success that we've had, and I appreciate each and every one of these men We have definitely one of the best staffs I've ever been a part of, and I'm very honored and grateful for that. As I said earlier, this was a very historic season for West Lawrence football. You guys, I can't tell you how proud I am of what y'all did representing this school, representing this program, and representing this community. I just want to kind of list a couple of the accomplishments this football team had this year, because you know every year the football team's a little different. We lose the seniors, and then those middle classes kind of bump up and you get your freshmen in there, but no two teams are ever alike. Even if you only graduate 5 or 6 seniors, to up to us, we're graduating almost 20 seniors. No two teams are ever alike, and this is the last time that we'll be together in a setting like this as a football team. And again, I am so proud of these guys, but let me just list some of their accomplishments. We won the region title this year for only the 3rd time in school history, and for the 1st time in school history, we went undefeated in region play. So great job, young men, for that. We tied the school record for most wins in a season with 11. That's only been done one other time in school history, and we were that far away from having a 12-win season this year. So really, really proud of the guys for that. We also tied the school record for longest winning streak with 8 straight wins during the year. We made the Elite 8 for only the 4th time in school history. We've made the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years, which has never been done in West Lawrence history. So congratulations, senior class, for being a part of that as well. Offensively, we set a ton of records this year, single season record for points with 443 points scored this year. We averaged 34 points a game, which is also a record, and our margin of victory this year was 22 points. And in region play, our margin of victory was over 30 points a game. So great job as well. Proud of you guys for the outstanding season with that. Defensively, we also finished in top 5 in the total defense this year, giving up just 9 points a game, and we held our opponents to only 1.88 rushing yards per game, which is the best we've ever had since I've been here as defensive coordinator. So great job. Our defense also only gave up 600 rushing yards on the season. Man. So great job. Proud of you guys, man. Give yourselves a hand. We also had several individual players who set records. Now, we're going to deal with those guys at the very end. We got some special awards for our individual single season and career record holders. So at the end, we're going to honor those guys. But at this time, we're going to go ahead and honor our athletes. I'm going to start out by giving our Letterman certificates out. So we're going to do this by class. When I call you up, guys, just come and line up here in the front on this side and on this side, and we're going to recognize you guys at this time. Starting with our seniors, Xavier Lewis, Christian Coven, thank you, man. Daniel Dorsey, De'Eric Jackson, there you go, DD. Devontae Royals, Dre Bonner, Andrew Green, Brent Carr, A.J. Mathis. He's got yours. Shante Burney. Daniel Lindo. Cam Coop.
I got you.
He's got you. Spencer Dacus. He's not up on this side, guys. Dominique Williams. Charles Knight, Spencer Fields, James Jardon, Brandon Washburn, Dontavius Wright. Are there any seniors that I mistakenly left out? Please tell me I didn't. All right.
Have you been thinking about buying or selling a home, but you don't really know where to start? Well, my name is Dwayna Cooper, and I work for Caldwell Banker Curry Residential, and I could make your real estate transaction easy, pain-free, and even a little bit of fun. When you use a real estate agent in your transaction, you have someone that works for you, someone that's in your corner, someone that can help you negotiate, get through all the pages of that contract, as well as make sure that the transaction runs smoothly from start to finish. I'm honest and candid, and I pride myself on being friendly and approachable. Earlier this year, I was fortunate enough to sell this home on Orchard Lake Road, but I also sell investment property and commercial property. So if you have a need, please reach out to me. We'll get the job done and have a little fun. I'm Dwayna Cooper, and I work for Coldwell Banker Curry Residential.
Hey Kristen, have you seen the boys? It's time for me to head to work.
I think I found them.
I think they want to go to work with me.
Okay, be safe and don't get too dirty.
When folks visit our dealership, we always treat them with respect and greet them with a smile. Now boys, our service team is here to help our friends keep their vehicles safe and on the road. When people buy their new vehicle, we make sure it's cleaned up right for that first road trip.
Whoa, rough day?
Others call you customers, we call you friends. That's Dublin Ford Lincoln.
You guys will be the seniors next year. This is your football team now. As we've already started in the weight room, this is your opportunity to step up and lead. And these guys have already done a great job in this first week back in our all-season workouts of getting after it. So we're excited about what these guys are going to bring next year to the table. Jaquil Edmond, Grayson Clark, Bradley Wilson, Chris Boston, Tyler Franks, Colby Ramsey, Caleb Appleby, Cam Robinson, TJ Jones, Jacob Hosey, Lorenzo Turner, James Boston, Martavian Blash, Quaylen Travick, Jalen Bonner, CJ Johnson, Victor Coney, Bryson Haynes, Tyler Granger, CJ Williams, Deontay Holloway, Carter Sherrow, Dalton Kane, Jesus Ibarra Flores. Jesus here. And that's it. These are our juniors this year. A lot of you recognize some of their names because they were on the field this past year for us on Friday nights. And we're excited for what you guys are going to do. Oh, did I leave Mokes out? Come on, Mokes. I'm sorry, Mokes. Thank you, Bradley. Mokes. My bad. Mokes, bro. Sorry, but I got your card now. I'll get to you in just a second, all right? Again, these are our juniors. We appreciate them. We're excited about what they're going to do next year. Give them a hand. Here you go, Mokes. All right, our sophomore class. When I call your name, come on up. Jace Thompson. Gunnar Jeffers. Javen Ash. Christian Boston. Evan Guyton. Ashad Farmer. Dalen Lindsay. Caden Snell. Joel Howard. Thank you, Coach. Jathan Willis. Cameron Arsenault. Cameron, if you good, buddy? All right, man. Davin Edwards. Keyshawn Walker. Keyshawn not here. Terry Tobler. Caleb Dacus. Avery Guyton. Dylan Johnson. Dylan here? Yep. Tyshawn Clark. Jason Souls. And Mokes. Here you are, buddy. I'm getting wrong. I wanted you around one more year, man. I was trying to make you a sophomore. I apologize, buddy. Thank you, man. These are our 10th grade, or sophomores this past year. Excited about the things they're going to do for this program as well. A lot of good athletes in this class, and we're looking forward to seeing them on the field next year on Friday night as well. Give these guys a hand, please. And now for our freshmen. Matthew Thigpen. Zane Golphin. Keandre Fortson. Isaiah Austin. Gage Kelly. Jaden Williams. Aaron Flanders. Aaron here? Okay, you put it right here, Coach. Brandon Horn. Jaden Jackson. Bryce Lloyd. Hart Souls. Kenzie Norris. Russell Graham. Gage Marion. Riley Curtis. Bryce Brooks. Cameron G. Dustin Cooey. Luke Duskin. Austin West. And Keaton Warren. Did I leave anyone out, freshman? Who? Oh, John, I got yours. It's in my office. John Calvin. Oh, he's not here. Hey, it's because you weren't here today. I didn't pull it out. I'll get you, John. All right, these are our freshman guys. And I've got most of these guys in third block weightlifting with me. And I can go ahead and tell you these guys are getting after it. I'm really excited about them. I'm proud of these guys. And the future is bright for West Lawrence football. So give these freshmen a hand, please.
Hi, I'm Helen Powell. Been serving the Middle Georgia area since 1985. If you would love an exciting career, please call me. Careers in Cosmetology, 129 North Franklin Street, 272-1967.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm an upcoming graduate from Careers in Cosmetology. It's been a wonderful experience, and I encourage you to contact Ms. Helen Powell for more opportunities.
Hello, I'm Christy at Careers of Cosmetology. I've recently enrolled here and I'm excited about the opportunities that lie ahead.
Hey, my name is Daphne Jackson. I'm excited to be enrolled in Careers in Cosmetology. If you would like this opportunity, contact Careers in Cosmetology.
Hi, my name is Caitlin. I've been enrolled in Careers in Cosmetology for about 4 months now. I'm really enjoying it, and I think if this is the career for you, you should definitely come see Miss Helen Powell.
Careers in Cosmetology, 129 North Franklin Street. Our number is 272-1967. Give me a call.
With Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, I can get auto, home, life, even banking all in one place. Pretty convenient if you ask me.
Always the home team, Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance. Visit us online at gfbinsurance.com.
At this time, I'm going to recognize a couple special groups. You know, a lot of people think in football, you just show up in August, you put on the pads, and you go out there and you just play games. These guys here will tell you that's not at all the case. It is a year-round program that begins in January and runs all the way through. We spend a lot of time in the summer especially. We have 23 workouts in the summer, and we require our guys to make 20 of our 23 workouts to be men of summer. We also have a group we call Iron Raiders. Those are guys who made all 23 of the 23 workouts. So this time I want to honor these guys. They will be getting t-shirts at some point during this semester for their achievement being men of summer and being Iron Raiders. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I've coached football a long time for a lot of years. And here at West Lawrence, we have the absolute best summer attendance of anywhere I've ever coached. And I think that's why we're as successful as we are, because these guys aren't afraid to work. They're not afraid to come in the summer and sweat and to grind while a lot of people sitting at home in the bed. So I'm really proud of these guys. So when I call you out, please come stand up here. First, we're going to start with our Iron Raiders. These are guys who made 23 out of 23 workouts this summer. Javen Ash, Christian Boston, Chris Boston, Shantae Burney, Brent Carr, Grayson Clark, Christian Coven, Caleb Dacus, Davin Edwards, Spencer Fields, Deontay Holloway, Dalen Lindsay, Hart Souls, Jace Thompson, Quaylen Travick, Jathan Willis, Brandon Washburn, Martavian Blash, Dre Bonner, Spencer Dacus, Daniel Dorsey, Russell Graham, Bryson Haynes, Jacob Holsey, De'Eric Jackson, Jaden Jackson, James Jalden, CJ Johnson, TJ Jones, Bryce Lloyd, Colby Ramsey, Devontae Royals, Terry Tobler, Austin West, James Boston, and Caden Snell. Now this next group of guys that I'm going to call out are our men of summer. These guys made at least 20 of 23 workouts. A lot of these guys only missed it by one. So when I call your name, guys, come stand up here, please. Jalen Bonner, Tyshawn Clark, Jaquil Edmond, Ashad Farmer, Evan Guyton, Avery Guyton, Gunnar Jeffers, Charles Knight, Carter Sherrow, Keyshawn Walker, Jaden Williams, Cam Robinson, Dalton Kane, Andrew Green, Tyler Granger, Brandon Horn, Daniel Lindo, Caleb Appleby, Joel Howard, Matthew Thigpen, and Lorenzo Turner. If you notice, most of our team met our goal of 20 of 23 workouts. Really proud of these guys and their commitment in the offseason to be the best they could be. Give these guys a hand for me, please. Now, this next group we're going to honor before we get into our individual awards. We had a lot of players this year that earned all region and all state honors, so I'm going to call these guys out to recognize them. They will be getting patches for their Letterman jackets. Those are coming in. Every player on the team will be getting a region championship patch for your Letterman jacket, and you guys that made all state and all region teams, you'll be getting these as well. So I want to start out honoring these guys. First of all, we compete in Region 2 Quad A, and when we meet as coaches, we vote on the guys, we nominate players, and we vote on the guys as coaches, other coaches in the region of who should win these awards. And I'm proud to say this year the big three awards, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Overall Player of the Year, we swept all three of these awards at West Lawrence High School. So I want to honor these guys real quick. The Region 2 Quad A Offensive Player of the Year was Brent Carr. Come on up, Brent. Come right here, right? Proud of you, man. The Region 2 Quad A Defensive Player of the Year, De'Eric Jackson. And the overall Region 2 Quad A Player of the Year, as voted on by other coaches in the region, Spencer Dacus. Y'all stay up here, so I'm going to bring y'all region guys. Congrats, buddy. Proud of you, man. We also had several guys picked to first and second team all-region. First team all-region offense for us, A.J. Mathis. Congrats, A.J. Tyler Franks. Good job, A.J. Proud of you, buddy. Proud of you. And Deontay Holloway. Congrats, Cornbread. Good job, buddy. First team all-region defense for us, Daniel Lindo. And Shantae Burney. And first team all-region overall athlete, Daniel Dorsey. Proud of you, buddy. These guys were voted on by coaches in our region who looked and said, hey, these guys are the best players in our region. Proud of you guys, man. Looking for big things from you seniors as you go on and do bigger and better things after this. And for you underclassmen, excited for you guys to be back on that team again next year. Give these guys one more round of applause, please. I would also like to recognize our second team and honorable mention guys for all regions. When I call your name, come stand up here. Second team, all region offense for us. Christian Coven, Bradley Wilson, and Spencer Fields. Hey, congrats. Coven, congrats, brother. Shake my hand, man. Second team, all region defense for us. TJ Jones, Devontae Royals, Xavier Lewis, and Jaquil Edmond. Congratulations. Honorable mention, first and second team guys. If you're not quite there on first or second team, we get an honorable mention category. Charles Knight, honorable mention offense. James Jalden, honorable mention offense. Dre Bonner, honorable mention defense. And Andrew Green, honorable mention defense. They also do special teams as a separate category, so we had two guys that made that. First team, all region special teams, Cam Coop. And second team, all region special team, Gunnar Jeffers. Again, really proud of these guys. Hard work definitely pays off, and they earned every bit of the honor they get. So give them one more round of applause, please. Good job, man.
I'm Glenn Register, and on behalf of all the employees at Hometown Supply, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to serve you over the past 34 years. We have everything from four-wheelers and golf carts to cell phones and computers to flat screens and appliances. Come by today and let me show you what I will do for you. We have affordable payment plans to fit your budget. Just remember, if you can't do business at Hometown Supply, you just can't do business.
Out here, there are many jobs to do. You need the kind of power, versatility, and comfortable handling that comes with your territory. You need the tractor built to pull all that weight. The Kubota L Series is what you need out here. Right now, get an L Series for 0 down with 1.99% APR financing for up to 84 months, plus a 6-year warranty.
Your Kubota dealer is Mid-State Tractor and Equipment at 1325 North Jefferson in Dublin. Call 478-272-2198.
Now, I do want to recognize a couple other special awards. You guys don't have to come up for this one. If you just want to stand up, I'm just going to recognize you on this one. There's an all-Middle Georgia team done by the Macon Telegraph, and so I'd like to honor these guys as well. Brent Carr was first team offense for all-Middle Georgia. Daniel Dorsey was first team all-Middle Georgia, and De'Eric Jackson was first team all-Middle Georgia. And A.J. Mathis was honorable mention all-Middle Georgia. Also, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, that's, the big newspaper coming out of Atlanta, the AJC. We did have a couple guys that made their all-state team as well. Brent Carr, first team, AJC, all-quad A. Spencer Dacus and De'Eric Jackson also made the AJC's all-state team. So really proud of those guys for all their hard work. Again, all the success we had, I'm just really honored to be able to coach these guys and to see all the recognition that they're getting, not just from us here, but from other coaches and other media outlets around the state. Now, this time we're going to start with our individual awards. I got several of my assistant coaches. They're going to come up and give out these individual awards. Again, really proud of all these guys. Now, here's the deal with these individual awards. The players voted on most of these. So these awards are chosen by their peers. So when we're talking about the guy that was our best offensive lineman, our best defensive lineman, our best defensive back, whatever, the players voted on this. If it was real tight, if it was within a couple votes, there were a couple awards where we gave two guys because we felt like if enough of your teammates picked you to be that close, then we can have co-players of the year at those positions. So this time I'm going to bring up Coach Tyler Rogers, and he's going to start us off with our best offensive lineman.
I just want to start out by saying what an honor, privilege, and blessing it was to be able to coach this group. Coming into the year, this was probably the biggest question mark of our team. We had 5 guys that started last year. Obviously, all of them graduated. We had a couple guys that had some playing time experience, and everybody else was brand new. They came together and they gelled. I always say I always love in the hallway, all the offensive linemen hang out together, and that speaks volumes. I'm so proud of everything they've done, just from spring to summer to the season. I really appreciate the work that you guys put in, man. I care about y'all. I love y'all. So the guy that won the award, man, what a journey this guy's been on. Came into this year as a senior, not playing a lot of varsity time, never played offensive line in his life, and came up and, man, did a great job. I'm proud of what he did. I'm going to miss him. You left some big shoes to fill for your underclassmen, and that's Charles Knight.
I'm gonna tell you, some of y'all may notice Charles Knight ain't the biggest kid. You look at him, you don't think he's an offensive lineman. But one thing we noticed on film, practice, game, whatever, Charles Knight was giving us 100% of what Charles Knight had, and his teammates recognized that. So Charles, proud of you, man. Great job. Next, we have Coach Dwayne Gibson, who's going to give out our award for our best defensive lineman.
Best defensive lineman. I got to look at these stats, and I'm not going to read all of them, but I got two best defensive linemen. I got one that had 59.5 tackles, and how you get a .5 tackle, every assist counts as a half. 43 solos, negative 65 yards. These two right here had the most yards for loss on tackles. Negative 65 for one, and negative 75 for the other one. Second one had 68.5 tackles and 49 solos. Dacus and Lindo are the most valuable defensive linemen for the year. You're talking about all state, all region ball players. My job was very easy. And before I bring y'all up here, fellas, I did want to give a shout out to the parents. Guys, I look in this room and it's packed. Friday nights, y'all are in the stands. Listen to me. High schoolers, sometimes they don't want to say much to you. When they get in high school, they might be a little too cool. They know you're there. And I tell you, we appreciate it as coaches. It means a lot for your support. I do appreciate that. Now, I'm about to cry. So I thank y'all so much for being here. Spencer Dacus, Daniel Lindo, most valuable defensive lineman.
When I tallied up the votes for best defensive lineman, there was only one vote difference between Dacus and Lindo. So I felt like those guys deserved it. I'm going to tell you which one had the most, but there was only one vote difference. So congratulations, you guys. Proud of y'all. Again, a lot of the success we have has to do with what happens on that offense and that defensive line. So we're real proud of those guys. Next, we got Coach Respert. He's going to come up and give our award for best offensive back. Respert's lost some weight, excuse me. Coach Merkerson is going to give our award for best offensive back.
All right, I kind of want to follow up with what Coach Gibson was saying. The guys that I had this year, some of them I had all 4 years, and they made my job really easy. There's a lot going on the sidelines every Friday night. Sometimes it can get chaotic, and me and Coach Edwards trying to get personnel and things like that. We had 3 guys that rotated on their own, and a lot of that had to do with our offensive line. You guys doing a great job made it easier for us, and these guys were unselfish. One thing that stood out to me was when I looked at the stat sheet was we had 3 running backs, and they would rotate every couple plays. Nobody had to say anything to them. They just kind of rotated on their own. But we had 3 backs, and all 3 of those backs rushed for over 600 yards. And I don't think that was I don't think we've been close to that since I've been here. But that stood out to me. The best offensive back, I've been with this guy since he was in 9th grade. I know me and Coach Respert had some, last year had some back and forth of fighting over this guy. And I kept trying to tell him, hey, this is my guy. Some stats, he had 93 attempts for 624 yards with 9 touchdowns. And the best offensive back award goes to Shante Burney.
I tell you, like Coach said, we had 3 running backs. We had a 3-headed monster back there. If you put all our running backs together, we had a 2,000-yard rusher this year. So that's an outstanding job by you running backs, all 3 of y'all, and by you offensive linemen, because they couldn't get anywhere without you guys paving the way. So great job there. Next, we have Coach Alligood. Am I right on this one? Yep. Okay. Coach Alligood, who's going to give out the award for best linebacker.
All right, so I get to give out the award for best linebacker. You know, we had 4 senior guys out there at linebacker, so we're looking for 4 new guys next year. And, you know, just saying this guy's a special kid and a special athlete, that's an understatement. You know, when he came in as a freshman, about the second game, he had to play. And so he stuck it in there, and, you know, he's been going ever since. And, you know, he led our team in solos, assists, had a couple of sacks, had an interception. Would have had a touchdown if he hadn't got ran down. So, yeah, by a quarterback, okay. But, you know, our best linebacker, De'Eric Jackson.
Community Bank of Dublin Lawrence County is here to help you with all of your financial needs. Our team knows what it takes to make life easy and convenient and will help you get set up with our mobile and online banking. We founded Community Bank on common sense banking and a dedication to help people just like you. Our lender, Amy Thompson, loan officer, Gail Rainey, along with our Assistant Vice President, Ryan Lastinger, Executive Vice President, Brian Bazemore, and President CEO, Chuck Harwell, know what it takes to make life easy and convenient and can help you with loans for almost everything, from your automobile, home, land, or any financial goals you have. Come visit us today. Community Bank of Dublin Lawrence County, where common sense banking never goes out of style.
Start the new year with a new ride from Dublin Nissan.
This week at Dublin Nissan, drive this Sentra for $16,650.
New or pre-owned with great financing options.
Save up to $9,000 off MSRP on this Rogue.
Choose from hundreds of well-equipped cars, trucks, or SUVs.
Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on this Maxima.
We make it fast, fun, and friendly. Call, click, or come see us.
Dublin Nissan, the only dealer you will ever need.
Great job, Dee Dee. Our next award is going to be Coach Edwards, who's going to give out the award for the best wide receiver.
I was blessed this year to be and have the privilege of coaching a great group of kids. All of them brought something to the table, and I'm proud of every one of you. This young man in particular is probably the most talented player that I've ever had the privilege to coach. He was all region, all state, all area, all world. He had over 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, over 80 catches. You'll hear about all the school records he broke later. But to no surprise, the wide receiver award goes to Brent Carr.
And not only did Brent Carr get all those awards, but he also was the Quad A leader in receptions and receiving yards in the entire state of Georgia this year. So we're really excited for you, Brent. And we're going to talk a little bit more at the end of the program about Brent's individual achievements as well. So great job, Brent. At this time, I'm going to give the award now for the best defensive back. You know, when you coach defensive back, we got 4 guys across back there, 2 safeties, 2 corners. I really love the guys I had back there this year. They were guys who wanted to win. They were guys who were competitive. They were guys, 3 seniors out of the 4. A couple of those guys played both ways. So we had 2 DBs who were also 2 of our running backs. That's when we talked about that rotation. Sometimes they had to get off and get a blow and get some water and get their breath and pop back out there. But all 4 of my guys did an outstanding job. This year was one of the best secondaries we've had since I've been at West Lawrence High School. And those guys came to practice ready to go. Coaching them in group was easy because they were down there ready to learn and ready to get after it. But this one individual, you know, me and him didn't always see eye to eye because he don't see eye to eye with a whole lot of people unless he looks in the mirror. But overall, I can't tell you how proud I am of this guy. I do love this guy. Oftentimes when you have family, you know how it is with family. You'll fight with your family, right? But when someone else messes with your family, what happens? It's on now, right? And these guys are like my family, and this kid has been almost like a son to me. I really appreciate all he's done. But he led our team in interceptions this year with 6. Was also one of our top running backs. Has all kinds of scholarship offers right now. In the coming weeks, you're going to see several of these guys in that media center signing to play football at the next level as well. But our best defensive back award goes to Daniel Dorsey.
All right, I need to brag a little bit on these special teams guys because, you know, I feel like this year we had a very successful year on special teams. You know, it's one of those things that can get you beat at any time. And, you know, I do want to recognize a few guys that, you know, maybe not receive an award, but they had huge years on special teams. For example, Gunnar Jeffers, he was a guy that we said, look, you're going to be the long snapper. Wait, I ain't never long snapped before. Well, you got to find out before the first game. And he had an excellent year doing that. He snapped over 50 punts and 50 extra points this year. Guys like Jacob Holsey. Jacob stepped in there, played linebacker some, had 21 tackles on special teams. You know, Javen Ash, Caden Snell, some of those guys play on Thursday and then turn around and play on Friday. You know, and there's some of those dudes that are starting on Friday night have to go out there and play special teams. So you got to put guys on special teams that you can trust, you know that's going to go full speed, and it's going to get the job done. So, you know, Coach Mack and I were talking, and we felt like two guys deserved this award. And the first one I want to talk about has been our kicker for a couple years now. He was 7 or 10 field goals, had 53 extra points, punted 53 times, and 17 of them, he pinned them deep inside the 20. So one of our special teams awards goes to Cam Coop. The second one, this year we were giving out helmet stickers, and we came up with one. I said, Coach, I want to do one with a Superman emblem for people that do super plays on Friday night. And, you know, we work punt every day. And I know it gets old. I know people get tired of it. But punt and kickoff, if you want to see Coach and everybody get scared on Friday night, it's when we punt and when we kick off. So, you know, when we start talking about Supermen and making super plays, there's one guy that comes to mind. He had 2 fake punts that were awesome, 2 long kickoff returns for touchdowns, had averaged almost 40 yards of kickoff return. So our other special teams player of the year, Daniel Dorsey.
And you guys that are in the stands on Friday nights, you'll kind of notice there's a progression. Those guys on Thursdays that start standing out in those JV games start getting into those special teams on Fridays, and you start hearing some of those names called. And those guys you heard on special teams this past year, you're going to hear out there on the field on offense and defense this next year on Friday night. So we're excited about that. Now the next couple of awards we're going to give out, you know, we're going to call it the Breakout Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. You know, sometimes you go in a season and you think you know who your guys are going to be. You think you know who your guys are going to be you can count on, and then 1 or 2 guys pop up out of nowhere and have breakout years for you. And we want to honor those guys that have breakout years for us. So this time, I'm going to get Coach Respert is going to give is that correct? Okay, the Breakout Offensive Player of the Year, and Coach Gibson's going to follow with the Breakout Defensive Player of the Year.
I got all my weight back for this one. It's all right to laugh. My wife was laughing really loud back here. All right, when we talk about the Offensive Breakout Award, I want to first applaud our coaches on the offensive side. I think if you watched us play a little bit this year on offense, we were extremely multiple in our personnel groupings, in our formations and motions, and that put a lot on our assistant coaches to make sure our guys knew what to do. And with that, a lot of these guys, and we had a list of kids we could have chose for this award, because there was a lot of kids that progressed throughout the season because of the coaching they got on a daily basis that contributed to the team down the stretch. The 2 young men that we're going to acknowledge today, one of them was part of the 3-headed monster in the backfield. This young man, for 4 years now, I've watched Coach Murkison and him just work and work and work and work. And a hard-working kid. He had an older brother come through here who was an exceptional player and exceptional person, and he had big shoes to fill with his last name. And I'm going to tell you, I'm proud of him. Our offensive staff is proud of him. He led our team in average yards per carry from the backfield. I'm gonna make some of them mad. He also led our team with the longest rushing touchdown of the season. I told you I was going to make somebody. All right. This young man had 82 rushes for 708 yards. This is none other than Mr. CC himself, Christian Colby. This next young man, and again, we had a large group of guys to pick from. This second young man was probably our second weapon in the passing game. He controlled the middle of the field. Probably one of the most competitive players in our program, and I would stack him up with the most competitive, one of the most competitive kids I've been around. He is aggressive, competitive. He's going to give you all he has every time. And sometimes he's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. And you may not like it, but he's going to tell you. This young man was second in our region in receiving yards. He was tied for second in receiving touchdowns. And I want to say he was 15th in Quad A in receiving yards as well. The good thing about this one is he's a junior and he's coming back. This is Mr. Tyler Franks.
At Morris Bank, we understand that your personal finances and banking experiences can be stressful. We also know that it doesn't have to be that way. That's why for over 60 years, we've dedicated ourselves to providing common sense banking to people just like you.
Even when I started working here, there was a definite vibe that you felt when you walked in the door, from the music that you're always going to hear playing to the hello, good to see you, welcome, how can we help you? You know, it's just a different experience when you bank here.
We work hard to combine the latest online mobile technology and top-notch customer service that allows us to do just that.
We realize our customers have choices, but what sets us apart is the personal service that we provide that they may not receive at larger institutions. We like to make you feel at home, and we like to make the process as easy as possible when you're banking with us.
But we're not focused on helping just our customers. We are equally dedicated to supporting the community we are a part of. Just this year alone, we've logged thousands of community service hours and provided significant financial support to the communities we serve.
Something that sets us apart at Morris Bank is what we give back to the communities in which we serve. And as the communities continue to grow, that brings more business and more industry into the area, and it's just this circle effect of giving back and receiving what the community can offer.
We want to make sure you have the best banking experience possible. Come see us or give us a call to find out what makes Morris Bank different, because we're banking on you.
And this is my second time coming up here. I'm just thankful he moved that microphone up a little bit, because I was way down here, so we're glad to be here. Well, I'm saying it. I just got to say it. Defensive Breakout Player of the Year. Got moved in a new position for varsity. I think they kind of moved him in the last year. And it was learning. You got to understand now, when you're in the trenches, either side of the football, it's war. It is on. And he got in there and got it on, but the problem was he's standing beside two of the best I've ever coached. And he's just fighting and doing his job. And all of a sudden, as I'm grading film, 21 starts making a little more plays. And he's a great young man. Always respectful to me. Yes sir, no sir. His family has done a wonderful job with him. But I'm going to tell you what I do love about him. He loves to hit them quarterbacks. And see, as a defensive line coach, you like to do that, because me and Coach Respert, he's fussing at my boys for getting 10 feet around AJ, you know. And I started saying, well, we can't crack Cinderella's slippers, so we just had to wait till midnight to light him up, you know. So TJ kept asking me, he don't have on a yellow jersey today, can I hit him? No, can't hit him. But boy, when he figured it out and started lighting up them quarterbacks, opposing quarterbacks, he put a couple of them out. And I don't want to hurt no youngin', but you know, he stuck them. So I was very thankful for his energy. I was thankful for some of the pops. I was thankful for how hard he works. He had some folks working with him that helped him. Fellas, y'all helped him. We're a family on that D-line. And I just want to thank you so much. TJ, you are the breakout defensive player of the year.
All right, now we're going to honor some of our younger guys. We've got our JV offensive and defensive players of the year. This time, Coach Edwards is going to come up and give our JV offensive player of the year, and Coach Alley get our defensive player of the year.
All right, this young man made it very easy for me to call plays on Thursdays. We don't keep stats for Thursdays, but I'm sure he averaged over 20 yards a carry and 100 yards a game. Most of the time it was one and done. That means the first play of the game. He usually took it to the house. He carried our offense to a very successful season and has a bright future next year. Mr. Lorenzo Turner.
You can be happy, Lorenzo. It's okay. It's okay.
All right, so the JV Defensive Players of the Year, we have 2 of them, and we're looking for great things out of these guys. Usually when people dominate on JV, they're ready to step up to varsity, and you saw them play a lot on Friday night on special teams, but next year you'll see them out there all night long. So our JV Defensive Players of the Year, Caden Snell and Javen Ash.
At this time, Coach Mitch Lawhorn's going to come up and give out our 9th grade Players of the Year. Coach, I'm going to let you do both the offense and the defense, if you don't mind, since one of them's not here. Okay.
All right. This award's for the 9th grade Offensive Player of the Year. This kid in our first or second game of the year, we were playing Blakely County. Got a little upset. We had to get on to him about slinging his helmet. So at halftime, we asked him why he was upset, and Coach, you're not throwing me the ball enough. And didn't realize so later on, he didn't really know the routes, so we wasn't throwing the ball that much. He said, just throw it up in there, I'll get it. This award goes to Kenzie Norse.
Kenzie couldn't be with us tonight, so Coach Alligood's actually going to come up and give the 9th grade Defensive Player of the Year. Thank you, Coach.
I do want to brag on this guy a little bit. He's a brand new Raider, come in this year, and the future's so bright for him. He works hard. He's a fantastic young man, and next year he's going to be working some time on the D-line, and we're excited about him. He's got a big heart, works hard. Isaiah Austin.
All right, next we have a couple of my favorite awards. We're going to give out the Scout Team Offensive and Scout Team Defensive Players of the Year. If you don't know much about how football practice is run, the Scout Team guys are the guys that have to go out there and simulate the other team's offense and defense and get pounded by our varsity offense and defense. So it's not a fun job all the time. It's kind of a thankless job. But these guys that are going to be our Scout Team Offense and Defense Players of the Year really did a great job this year for us. And usually when you're at this level and you show out on Scout Team and you show out on Thursdays, then we know you're ready for that fire on Friday nights. So at this time, Coach Murkerson is going to give out our Scout Team Offensive Player of the Year, and Coach Alligood is going to give out our Scout Team Defensive Player of the Year.
All right, as Coach Mack said, these guys don't get stats. They don't get a whole lot of recognition. But they're very important to the success of our team. And the Scout Team Offensive Player of the Year had a lot of impact on making our defense a lot better. A couple of times early in the season, a couple of times he got a little frustrated with getting beat up a couple of times, and I finally told him, I was like, look, if you'll take it to him, it won't be that bad. And once he figured it out, he started letting people know that he was here. He did a little bit of fullback, and then as the season got on, I'm thinking, this guy's getting worn out. I'm going to throw him a bone, and he got in there and was very physical running the ball. And I think Coach Mack would agree that this guy made our defense a lot better. And the Scout Team Offensive Player of the Year award goes to Evan Guyton.
The Scout Team Defensive Player of the Year, it's like Coach said, you're only going to be as good as the people you're working against. And this guy, he's unselfish. He hustles every play. He's got the biggest heart. And next year, we're looking for big things out of him. Defensive Scout Team Player, Bryson Haynes.
All right. At this time, Coach Respert's going to come up and give out our highest senior GPA award. And we do a lot of football awards. We also want to honor our guys who are taking care of business in the classroom, because at some point, if you're a football player, no matter what level you play at, whether it be high school, whether it be college, whether it be professional, at some point your football playing career is going to end. And when that ends, you got to have something that's going to take you farther in life. For most of us in this room, I hope all of us have the opportunity to go and do what we want to do at the next level. But the reality is very few of us will play college football at the next level. But every single young man in this room can go to college at the next level and get a degree at the next level and go on out into this world and make something positive out of themselves. So Coach is going to come up and talk about our highest GPA award.
This young man will come, it'll be no surprise to us. He's a young man that we all trust. We put a lot of responsibility on him from a football standpoint because we knew he was responsible enough to handle it. And this award alone shows you. You can be a multi-sport athlete. You can come to extra meetings with any sport, be it football or baseball, and you can still get it done in the classroom. So parents, when you have those whining and complaining that they're tired, and they want to go to sleep, tell them they can do it. Man up and get your work done. This young man has done it since he's been here. No surprise to us, our highest GPA goes to Mr. A.J. Mathis.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank, big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future? That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter, member FDIC.
Dublin-Macon Cardiology, celebrating over 14 years of serving Dublin and Lawrence County. At Dublin-Macon Cardiology, we're always committed to taking care of you and your heart. Bringing state-of-the-art cardiac care closer to home with a walk-in chest pain center. New patients are always welcome and no referral is ever required. Dr. Vega is proud to announce the addition of Elise Rotrammel, a nurse practitioner, to our staff. Drop by today at Dublin-Macon Cardiology, 206A Hospital Drive in Dublin.
Next, we're going to give out our Raider Awards. For those of you that don't know, the Raider Award is awards we give to guys that we think really epitomize what it means to be a West Lawrence Raider, both on and off the field, in the classroom, in the hallways, and out in our community. We have 3 guys. The coaches picked this one. We sat down and we talked about this, and I asked several of the coaches' opinions on this, but we came up with 3 guys that we thought deserved to get Raider Awards this year. And at this time, Coach Waits is going to come up and give awards to these guys.
Thank you, Coach. I do have the honor and privilege to give this Raider Award out tonight. I guess it's because I've been around the longest and I got more gray hair than anybody else does. So they said you get the Raider Award. So that's an honor to me to hand out the Raider Award. Coach was talking about, this is an award about character. Not only on the field, but off the field also. We had a lot of people that could have won this award. There's a lot of good people out there on this team, a lot of good players. There's a lot of them that could have won this award, but we narrowed it down to 3. On the plaque it says, given to the athlete who displayed character and desire to succeed on and off the field. And the 3 winners are Spencer Fields, Bradley Wilson, and Deontay Holloway.
All right, now we're getting to the good stuff. We're going to give out the offensive and defensive MVP awards. These are the guys, these are voted on by players. These are the players that their peers said this was the most valuable player on us for offense. This was the most valuable player on us for defense. We wouldn't be as good as we were on either side of the ball without these two guys. So at this time, Coach Respert's going to give out the offensive MVP, and Coach Alligood's going to give out our defensive MVP.
Before we give this out, I'm going to give a little context. And again, this will be no surprise to us. This young man has been in our program for 4 years. I feel like I came to West Lawrence the same time, West Lawrence High School, that he came to West Lawrence High School. This young man has had a lot on him over the time. He had to step in as a true freshman and take a lot of licks with a supporting cast that was not as talented as this year's. He never once blinked. He never once complained. Matter of fact, I think he really tested his mother and her knowledge of those natural oils and scents that she has, because she was constantly having to doctor him after a game. One thing that I think speaks volumes of this young man, he has started 35 consecutive games for this high school. 35. And he has taken some licks over the past 3 years. And again, he steps up and continues to come back to practice and continues to lead our program. From an offensive standpoint, from a schematic standpoint, we had to run a RPO system for the most part the last 2 years, which means he has to make decisions on every single play that directly impacts the success that we have as an offense. That's checking protection. That's checking the run game. That's checking passing concepts outside. And I'm going to just tell you, there's not a lot of quarterbacks in high school football that's being asked to do those things. Under his leadership, as a senior, this was his show. He had complete keys to the offense. And the guys can tell you in film, watching practice film, watching game film, whatever AJ checked to, what do we run, guys? What he checked to. You know, if we signaled it wrong from the sideline, which we might have done a time or two, if we signaled it wrong from the sideline, whatever AJ called in the huddle, that's what we ran. You know, we put a lot on him, and he responded well. In Quad A, we were third in total offense in the state. We were third in total yards in Quad A. That's running and passing, which we were about 50-50 in both. We were sixth in scoring offense in Quad A. We were sixth in rushing in Quad A. And lastly, he individually was fourth in Quad A in passing. In all classifications, I believe he was 15th overall. We'll talk about his school records that he has set, and he is truly going to be the standard at the position moving forward. A young man that comes in starting in January, right, AJ? Once a week. We're going to come in at 6:15 or 6:30. Once a week. Every month leading up to the summer. Now, he had other things going on. How many meetings did you miss, AJ? Not a one. In 4 years. This young man, I love him to death. He's a great, great competitor. He's a great, great leader. And if he had a great day, the Raiders had a great day. And as you can tell from 2019, he had a lot of great days. Our MVP for offense, Mr. A.J. Mathis.
All right, Coach Alligood is going to give out our defensive MVP at this time. There were a lot of guys. We were very senior heavy on defense. There were a lot of guys that really could have gotten this award. There were several. It was pretty close in the votes. but it came down, this guy ended up pulling away at the end, and Coach is going to talk about him a little bit. Really proud of our defense overall. Like we said earlier, we were top 5 in the state in Quad A in total defense. 1.8 yards per rush, 600 yards rushing on the year. Only three times in 13 games did the opposing team score more than 10 points on our starting defense. So really proud of those guys, and this guy was a big part of that, and Coach is going to come talk about him a little bit.
All right, just to tag on to what Coach McClain was saying, I'm an old West Lawrence guy, and thinking back, this is the most complete team we probably ever had. I mean, we dominated people. And in the region, we just blew people out, which is unheard of. What we did to Mary Persons probably never been done before. And that's something that, we'll always remember. That was an awesome feeling going in there and just beating them like we did, And, our offense was amazing. Our defense was amazing. And like Coach said, going into the last game, people had ran the ball more times than they had yards. They had ran the ball like 280 times for 275 yards, which is crazy. And it all goes down to those guys on defense doing what they're coached to do, getting lined up, and hitting and tackling, and that's what it's all about. So that makes it fun when you're dominating people on offense and defense. And, just to brag on this guy a little bit, pretty much everybody knows who he is. He's going to be headed up to Kentucky real soon. And I feel like, it's a piece of me going, because me and De'Eric's been together for 4 years. He came up, he was just a baby, but he was bigger than I was as a freshman. So, we've worked through it, and he's a guy, when he comes to the sideline, Coach, I miss that one. Coach, this is what they're doing. He knows football. He's the leader for every team. You got to have a heart. On that defense, you got to have a heart. And De'Eric was our heart. And we're going to miss him next year, along with a lot of those seniors. Going to have to replace. We got 9 seniors on defense. But, we're not worried. We know that we got guys that are coming that's putting in the work in the weight room. So, De'Eric, we wish you all luck, man. We're going to be following you, dude. And we know you're going to represent West Lawrence to the fullest. And our Defensive Player of the Year, De'Eric Jackson.
When you want convenience, you want Neighbors Express, where you'll always find friendly, courteous service every time you visit us. Fill up with Pay at the Pump. Take advantage of our bigger and better selection of beverages and tobacco products. Enjoy our popular crushed ice with your favorite fountain drink. And you can always enjoy a fresh hot breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So stop by and see us today, where it's always convenient and friendly. Neighbors Express, locations at I-16 at 441 and in Cedar Grove, where we provide farm fuel for all our customers. When you want convenience, you want Neighbors Express.
Hello, I'm John Martin, physical therapist and athletic trainer from Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to some of our workshops here at Rehab Advantage. We've been hosting workshops every 3 weeks, some for low back pain, shoulder pain, arthritis, and for balance and vertigo problems. And so feel free, we'd love to have you come. We'd love to share information with you about these injuries and how you can get well naturally from these things. And we'd just love to tell you more about it right here at Rehab Advantage. We usually have them hosted at 6 p.m. on Thursday evenings. That does change sometimes, so be sure to look at our website or give us a call 478-275-1800.
Say one of the many things I loved about coaching De'Eric, I've coached him for 4 years, as defensive coordinator and then as head coach the last 3. But De'Eric's one of the most coachable kids. I mean, he's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. But whenever I'd point out mistakes that De'Eric made or we'd correct things in film, like Coach said, he'd be like, Coach, that's my bad. I'll get it fixed. Very coachable kid, and that's why watch on Saturdays. You're going to see De'Eric Jackson very soon on Saturdays playing for the University of Kentucky. So really proud of you, De'Eric. Thank you for all you've done for this program. Now the next thing I'm going to give out is our Captain's Awards. These awards were voted on by players. Our Captain's Award, every Friday we send 4 guys out for the coin toss, and I picked those 4 guys based on practice week and how things went the week before. But overall for the year, I let the players vote, hey, who are the guys that led you this year? Who Who are the guys that you wanted to follow? Who are the guys that inspired you to be better than you were last year? And we end up having 5 guys that they voted on, and I'm going to give these awards out at this time. All 5 of these guys were guys you didn't have to worry about whether they're going to be at practice or not. You didn't have to go out and hunt them and find them. You didn't have to worry about what kind of effort they were going to give you at practice. And on Friday night, that showed up with an 11-2 season and a historic year this year. So when I call your name, you 5 captains, just remember, your teammates voted you as captains. And these 5 stood out from all the other votes. It wasn't even close. There were these 5, and there was a big gap with the rest of the guys that got votes. So you 5 guys, it means a lot when your peers look at you and they say, that's the guy I want to be like, that's the guy I want to follow. He led our team this year. So when I call your name, come up here. Our first captain award goes to Shantae Burney. Our second captain award goes to Brent Carr. Third captain award, Daniel Dorsey. Fourth captain award, A.J. Mathis. And our final captain award goes to De'Eric Jackson. Again, these are 5 seniors that we're going to miss. We're proud of these guys. These guys can always be proud of the legacy they're leaving behind at West Lawrence. Great job, men. Give them one more round of applause, please. Now, we got 2 sets of awards left, and we're going to be finished for the evening. First, we're going to honor some of our record setters. We had 3 guys on the football team this year that set individual and career records for West Lawrence High School, and we're going to honor them and recognize all they did with their stats. All 3 of these guys were huge parts of our success. I can't tell you, we wouldn't have been the same team without what these guys did this year. And not only this year, but what they've done over their careers, being starters the last 2, 3, and 4 years. So we're really proud of these guys, and Coach Resper's going to come and talk about these guys. We got 2 things we're going to give them. We've got a plaque to commemorate their single season record, and then we've got a larger award that we came up with to commemorate their career records as well. So Coach will come talk about these guys.
All right, now this young man, obviously we all know we've broadcasted it throughout the games when he was chasing records and then when he was breaking them and adding to them. The first, and I'll hold it up while, matter of fact, you come stand and hold it. Turn and face him so they can see it. All right, on this collage, you have all of the records that Brent set, and I'm going to talk a little bit about him now. They say I get a little long-winded. I've saved up a little time for these last 2 now, so y'all just bear with me. First, he has, and now granted, we've had some great players that play this position come through here. And this is no slight to them. We've had NFL players come through here. We've had Division I FBS wide receivers play here at our school. Brent has set the record for most receptions in the season this past year, which he led the state in with 84 receptions. He had the most receptions in one game, which was 13 in the Spalding game. He had the most receptions in a career with 115. And if I'm being honest, his career at wideout was 2 years long at 115. He has the season record for most receiving yards in the season, which he was number 1 in Quad A. He was one of 2 wide receivers to be All-State in Quad A. And he set that record with 1,387 yards. And lastly, he has most receiving yards in a career at a school of the likes of Bebe and Justin Smith. He's now number 1 on that list. Out of 9 receiving categories, his name stands at top of 5 of them. And here's what I want to impress upon our up-and-coming guys. Brent didn't see this as a freshman, see this coming as a freshman, as a sophomore. He definitely didn't see it as a sophomore. but he didn't see it as a junior. But what he did was he worked, guys. He took a lot of criticism, okay? Because these guys will tell you, we coaches, we hold them to a high standard. And if God has blessed you to be a special impact player for our program, that's the standard we hold you to. Isn't that right, Brent? Sir. And sometimes that's difficult, and that's a challenge. I'm proud of you for responding. I'm proud of you for sticking it out, because I know it wasn't easy. Now your name is going to be at the top of the list for a lot to see in the years to come. Proud of you, man. Come on, Mr. Mathis. Again, the same setup. You've got different action shots of them throughout their career with all the records that they have. And I think it deserves, again, we've talked about AJ and the sacrifice and commitment that he made. Guys, playing quarterback, it's a different ball game. It's a different position. All right, it requires more of you. And he was willing to commit himself to being the best quarterback that he can be. Out of 12 categories at quarterback for school, he now owns 7 of them. One of them, most completions in a season at 161. Most completions in a career, 419. Most passing touchdowns in a season at 25. Most passing touchdowns in a career at 56. Most passing yards in a season, 2,458 yards, which is this past year, which put him 4th in Quad A in the state. And then lastly, the most passing yards in a career. And I want to say the next person is almost 1,300 yards behind him. And that's 5,709 yards. Again, this is a young man. Football is not the only thing he's done at this high school. He's played baseball the entire time. Okay? He is committed to those morning meetings that started in January, that he didn't miss one of them. And if I'm being honest, who did you beat to the meeting every time just about? Me. Me. All right? So that just tells you of the kind of character the young man has. And I'm proud of you, AJ. Because again, we all coaches, we talk about leaving a mark. Brent, AJ, we talk about leaving a mark and leaving a legacy. Well, guys, they've shown you. You've been up close and personal for years with both of them. They've shown you how to work. They've shown you how to respond to criticism. They've shown you how to rise to expectations and still be great and do your best. All right? So that's going to be the challenge to you underclassmen. They're graduating. That means there's a lot of opportunity out there for you. AJ, I love you. I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
Jeff Shepard here back in Roach Farm and Garden, where hunting season never ends. We got a full line of Carhartts from your head to your toe, insulated bibs and jackets. Georgia boots from casual to hunting to your steel toe work boot. Grills, fryers, griddles from charcoal, gas to pellet. And don't forget, we got every flavor pellet you can think of. And if you're looking for a knife, they got a full line of case. If you've got something to feed, we got a full line of feed. Anything that you can imagine. And pet supplies, we got them. Come check out these gliders. They rock. Best of all, they're locally made. You want pecans, chocolate covered, glazed, or just plain? You better hurry, because we can't keep them in stock. Feeders, trail cameras, flashlights, and more. Whole corn and corn on the cob. Having trouble with that big buck? Don't forget, Voodoo's at the counter. Come see us at Roach Farm and Garden. 2 locations, Wrightsville and Dublin.
On behalf of everyone at Wrightsville Memorial Funeral Home, we'd like to take this opportunity to salute all veterans and their families for your service to our country. We salute our veterans now and throughout the year at Wrightsville Memorial Funeral Home. With every passing hero, we celebrate the valor and victory in every military service person that we have the privilege in which to honor. We offer a military veterans package that recognizes the sacrifices these brave men and women have made for our country. Let us help you represent your loved one's life in a meaningful and personal way. With over 20 years of serving our clients throughout Georgia, we've had the opportunity to assist as well as educate many families. If we may be of help to you, please call us at 478-207-7225. That's 207-7225. Or visit us online. We're the caring and experienced professionals at Wrightsville Memorial Funeral Home, and we're here for you.
I also have one more record holder award to give out. This young man set the single season record at West Lawrence for extra points in a year. You know, a lot of times at kicker you kind of get overlooked because it's one of those thankless jobs like long snapper where they throw you out there and you're expected to be perfect every time, and when you screw up one time, everybody comes down on you, don't we? McLean comes down on you, don't he? I know. I can be that way sometimes. But I'm really proud of Cam Coop. Again, he set the single season record with 53 extra points this year. Had a great career for us. So Cam, come on up. Proud of you, brother.
Coach Mack hates surprises, but he gonna get one tonight. He's a structured, organized kind of a guy, so he don't like little changes. This ain't on the agenda, guys, but our seniors wanted to have a moment. So if you guys will come on up.
I know this wasn't your idea. Huh? You carry that mic, are you?
Watch out. I think. Go ahead, bro. You ain't talking. You know you ain't talking.
Do I need to present it to myself?
I don't think the mic working, Coach.
Maybe it works. It's working.
This is my coach. He always been hard on me. He always pushed me. He was my coach for 3 years. 4 years. He was my head coach for 3 years. And I just want to say I love him, all the things he did for me.
I think most of us has played football for Coach Mack all 4 years being in high school. And all 4 years, no matter if he was a head coach or not, he was probably the coach that stood out the most about the group. He was always on all of us. He knew it was going to be great since we came into high school. And I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for us, and we love you.
Appreciate it, Tell you what, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that from these guys. This is a special group of seniors for me, not just because we were successful, but you know, I've been at West Lawrence since 2011 as defensive coordinator. I've been in the weight room since then. All these guys have had to put up with me in the weight room, and they know it ain't fun, and it ain't easy, and I'm not nice in there. I get that, I admit that. But this group right here were sophomores when I became the head football coach here. And this is the first group that really I had for a whole year that I could work with and get out there and put on the field on Friday nights. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate this coming from you guys. And I said it earlier, we didn't always see eye to eye, but I promise you this, I could depend on that group right there. They didn't do everything right. They weren't perfect. They made mistakes. We butted heads sometimes. But in the end, when that fire got hot, I could always count on those seniors to step out there and give me everything they had. And I appreciate it. Man, I mean this when I say it. I love you guys. I'm proud of you guys. Once you're a Raider, you're always going to be a Raider. And if you ever need anything, you can come back and we're going to be here for you. But great standard you guys have set. And we wish you the best as you go on and do bigger and better things. But I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now, leading into that, what? Again? Okay. Is it money? I know. Oh, thank you. That's perfect. Perfect. That's more, this one's more than it's perfect timing on this one. We're about to give out our last award, which is our senior presentations. For you guys that don't know, we do the helmets for our guys. This means a lot to me, you guys signing this, and again, you guys mean so much to me as a team. This is the best. You know, I started out my career at Americas, and I was fortunate. My first 2 years coaching, we went 15-0 both years and won state championships back to back. But I promise you, this team right here was the most joy to coach of any team I've coached in my entire career, whether it be football, baseball, or whatever. But I'm really proud of you guys. Thank you guys so much for this. And at this time, leading into this, I'm going to give out our senior presentations. I want to honor our seniors one last time. I'm just going to call their names out, and we can give them a big round of applause at the end. Again, this senior class is the winningest senior class in West Lawrence history. They accomplished things no other senior class has accomplished. I personally love these guys. I mean it when I say that. I'm going to miss these guys. So seniors, when I call you out, come on up here, man. I'm proud of you. In no particular order, these were our 2019 seniors who accomplished such great things. Xavier Lewis, Christian Coven, Daniel Dorsey, De'Eric Jackson, Devontae Royals, Dre Bonner, Andrew Green, Brent Carr, A.J. Mathis, Shante Burney, Daniel Lindo, Cam Coop, Spencer Dacus, Charles Knight, Spencer Fields, James Jalton, Brandon Washburn, Dontavius Wright. Anybody I'll leave out off my list? Y'all come on up here and line up. Let me get some pictures.